Hi, it's a lipstick gal. Thanks for watching today. I've got to get ready. I thought we could do it together. I've got a whole bunch of products out here, some that are new, some that I have never tried, some that I'm still forming opinions on. And I wanted to use these today and kind of, build some stronger opinions. I'm going to start with this. This is the Everglass Lip Dew from M Cosmetics. I have the shade Enchant, and I have found that I don't like this color, but I do like the way that it feels on my lips. I have been wearing this mostly at work. I work at a dentist office, and in the state of Washington, it's still required that both patients and people working in offices that are medical or dental or at hospitals still wear masks all the time. So I'm literally in a mask all the time. Even when I'm not with the patient, I'm still in a mask. So this has been one of those things that I reach for, mainly because I don't like the color. I feel like it's a little too peachy on me. I think I would have liked a color. This one said it was supposed to be kind of like a pinky nude. And to me, it's more of a peachy nude. Maybe there's a little bit of rose in there, but it reads a little orange on my lips. For that reason alone, I have been wearing it, for comfort underneath my mask. The one thing that I don't like about this is, do you see this? Like the edge right here, this gold trim has been wearing off. I feel like the packaging is nice. I do like the doe foot, the shape and the size of it is nice. I like that you have a clear window here to see what the shade is like. I do not like this gold printing because there used to be, on the opposite side of this little window, there used to be the M logo here and it said M Cosmetics underneath. And within a week that had completely worn off from me just holding it and, applying it, twisting it on and off. And I'm finding that from spending time in my scrubs pocket at work, in my purse, and then here on the desk, that I'm just getting like little bits of this gold like completely worn off. This is I got it, I'm using it, but it's not a fade, but it does actually feel really good on the lips. All right, I finally had to open my new Beauty Pie Super Luminous Under Eye Genius. I think this is the second time using it. This is one of those things that I wear all the time. It makes such a big difference for me underneath the eyes. I mean, the difference between this and this to me is night and day. So I always take the time to just put on a little bit of this, even on light makeup days when I'm not going to be wearing concealer. Just taking down a little bit of that darkness makes such a huge difference. For foundation today, I'm going to be using the new Patrick Ta. This is the cream foundation and finishing powder. I have the shade Fair 2. It's the second lightest shade. I find that I like the way that it looks most when I use like a buffing brush to kind of pick it up, and then I just buff it in. I don't know that this is like the perfect shade for me. I feel like I have some that, look a little bit better. But I feel like overall it does a pretty good job. I have worn this to work. I have, set my whole face with powder. I like it best on the days when I don't have to set my whole face. I like the way this looks after spreading it around with a brush, taking a damp sponge and just kind of pressing it in. I feel like it picks up any excess that I have. It evens out any potential brush strokes that, carelessly I might have left behind. And it just makes it become more skin-like in appearance than kind of sitting on my skin. I'm going to put on some of the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. I have the shade 1. I hope you're doing well. It's still warm enough where I'm living to, be wearing kind of summer type clothing. I know growing up, my mom was really big on the whole no white after Labor Day, no linen after Labor Day, no patent leather. Like, I learned all of those rules, and now I'm just kind of like, I'll wear what I want. And I don't know, do you still adhere to any of those? I just kind of feel like, especially after 2020, the world's a different place, and a lot of the rules we used to adhere to when it came to clothing just kind of straight out the door. We're a lot more casual, and I feel like those seasonal rules for clothing just don't hold the same way that they used to. And I think maybe they were just more tradition and not so much, I don't know, white kind of makes sense. It makes a beautiful color for summer. But I feel like, You can still wear a nice white shirt in the wintertime and it looks fabulous. I'm gonna use Charlotte Tilbury's Brightening Powder underneath the eye. This is one that I have really been liking to set, not just her concealer, but others as well. I've used it with the Huda Beauty. I've used it with one from Beauty Pie. I've used it with the Glossier. I think this is a really nice brightening powder. And I feel like it does a good job of setting and not making my under eye look old and dry. This Patrick Ta does okay under the eye, but honestly, it's not my favorite. The one thing you might notice is that there is a little bit of hard pan going on here. And I noticed that happened the first time when I was trying it for the first time. I'll link that video for you here. I took a damp sponge and was pressing into there and I noticed it created hard pan and I was like, okay. So I used some tape and I got all the hard pan off and I've got it going again. And I think what happens is using a makeup brush like this and then setting my face and then going back. I feel like there might be some of the oils from this Creme foundation that are getting, you know, on the bristles of the brush, and as they touch the pan of product, are showing up there. But I do like the way that this looks to set the rest of my face. I think I just prefer the Charlotte Tilbury under the eyes. So for bronzer, I picked up a new one from Beauty Pie. This is one they've had out for, oh, I don't know, maybe since the beginning of the summer, but I love that they are coming out with refillable packaging. This compact is called Keep This Compact. And the powder that they have to go in here is the Awesome Bronze Powder Bronzer. I have the lightest shade in Sunnyside. It magnetizes straight into here. I think that is beautiful. So I'm just gonna pick a little bit up on a brush here. I'm not really looking to like contour or anything, but I do want to bring some color to the face. I feel like this is a really nice color and it's blending really well. I don't feel like I'm seeing any splotchiness, any patchiness. I actually really like the way this looks. I feel like it's a pretty color. It's not too dark. It's not too rich. I feel like it blends really well. I am using a Wayne Goss number 11. So, you know, some white goat hair really does go a long way in making sure the blend is really beautiful. But aside from the tool, sometimes a tool, like a good tool, cannot help a bad bronzer. I feel like this one's really nice. And it has a nice kind of natural, almost satin look to it. I'm not saying that it's shiny, but it's not like a flat matte. It feels like there's a little bit of dimension to this where it looks skin-like. Okay, I think this is nice. For blush today, I'm just going to be using one from Pat McGrath. I have kind of been defaulting to my Pat McGrath blushes quite a bit. This is the shade Fleurtatious. This is one of the lighter shades in the collection. For highlight today, I am using one from Beauty Pie. This is a One Powder Wonder. I have always loved their original One Powder Wonder, their Uberlescent Universal, which looks like this. These are obviously not the same. This is kind of a slightly satiny, not quite perfectly radiant, translucent setting powder. This is more of a highlighting powder. I remember when they came out with this a couple of years back and they were talking about it being a radiant all over face setting powder, and people were complaining that they ended up looking like a disco ball. Like it was too much for a lot of people. So then I think they, you know, still have this formula, but they decided to market it as a highlighting powder. I don't think that the product itself has changed, just the description and how to use. So I have the shade Light Medium. Ooh, that might be too much. I'm going to pick some of this up and add it here. You know what's pretty about this? This is not like a full-on frosty, blingy, kind of like a gilded situation. I feel like it's really soft. If you have more textured skin or, you know, some crow's feet you're worried about, because I feel like sometimes as I sweep product up this way and then I smile, it's really, really visible in this area. This may actually be a really nice product. I love to highlight, but I also don't want to be drawing too much attention to the pores on my face or the crow's feet I have going on here. The look of this reminds me of the Pure Nude highlighter from Essence, which is like a really soft but pretty highlight. I feel like it looks like nice skin without being too frosty, too highlighty, too over the top. I'm going to be using the Beauty Pie Super Precision Brow Pencil. I have the shade, I think it's Perfect Brown. This is one that I picked up a while ago and I have been liking. I'm going to finish doing my eyebrows and I'll be right back. For eyeshadow today, I'm going to use some of the singles from my Sydney Grace August bundle. This kind of came mid-month and I kind of lost track of it last month. I had so many other Sydney Grace products coming in after their Christmas and July sale. But I thought it might be fun to do a really soft minimal eye look. I'm going to start with this lightest matte here called Unconditional. This is a really pretty soft mauve toned shade. I really don't want anything too heavy, just a little bit of color in the outside corner. I'm going to take this same shade on a rougher number 2 and just kind of run it right down here on the lower lash line. I just want a really soft, diffused lower lash line that doesn't get too dark. This darker matte shade, and over it, I think I'm going to put just a little bit of this slightly plum tone in the outer corner, like right here. And just lightly tap it in. I don't want a ton of color, just a little bit more depth. The last thing I'm going to do is take this light green metallic shade. This is called Mint Chocolate Chip. And I'm going to put just a really light wash of this over the lid. I'm not looking to like completely, you know, go really green and minty, but just a little bit of sparkle. I'm going to be using the Ultra Color Pro Gel Liner from Beauty Pie in Very Pretty Plum as liner today. I have one of these in Molten Bronze and I really enjoy it. I feel like it's a nice long-wearing formula. I like a color that is, you know, colorful without being, you know, too bright. So this Very Pretty Plum is, you know, just enough to add interest. Oops, just poke myself in the eye without it being too much. I'm trying a new Beauty Pie mascara today. This is called their Flash False Lash Mascara. I saw some really great reviews. I've tried their Uber Volume Velvet Mascara, which I really like, but this one has a different sort of wand on it. This one is kind of short and has more of that silicone or rubber bristle tip to it, but people were talking about how great it was at lengthening and really giving kind of that long separated lash look. So I'm curious to try this. I don't have the most fabulous lashes. My lashes are kind of short, downward pointing. I did take the time to curl them, but I feel like my lashes are, you know, in the grand scheme of things, in the lower 50% of, you know, potential natural lash beauty. They look good when you put mascara on them, but without mascara, it's almost like, wait, what? Is there anything there? You know what I like about this so far is I really feel like it's defining lashes without being too clumpy. I'm going to take off that M Cosmetics lip dew that I've been leaving on kind of to hydrate my lips, and I'm going to put on my lip color for today. I'm going to start with the Wayne Goss Essential Lip Liner in the shade Berry Natural. Or Natural Berry, what is it? Natural Berry. I was like, I don't think Wayne's big on the puns. And for lipstick today, I am putting on one of the new House of Sillage lipsticks I picked up. A friend of mine on Instagram, Lisa, has been mentioning how good these lipsticks were. She goes, you don't need one of the bow cases, but I'm one of those people that I need the bow cases. So House of Sillage was having a sale on their lipsticks, so I got 2 refills at half price, and one of them was this shade here called Femme. And they are not still selling this lipstick bow holder in this kind of turquoise shade, but I found it on Poshmark for like $80. So this shade in Femme is one of their matte lipsticks. Oh, this feels so nice on the lips. It feels like a cream lipstick while having a matte appearance. I'm really curious to see how it wears today. Maybe it would have been better to have applied this without the lip liner to see what it wears like today. I have swatched it before, but I haven't actually worn it. But I am so delighted to, isn't this just so pretty? I love this. But on the inside, also a beautiful lipstick. The thing that's great about these is that you can change these. They have different refills for them. So I also picked up another one, and this is the refill here of a shade called, I gotta pull it out to twist it up. This one's called Queen. So, you know me being a red lipstick lover, I had to have a red lipstick as well. I feel like this shade in Femme is such an easy nude to wear because it's a pink leaning nude, and those are the ones that look most flattering on my skin tone. And I feel like it's not too deep and it's, not too pink. It's just kind of mauve-y enough. I'm really excited with the way that this look turned out. I feel like, I've got a nice kind of natural looking eye. I'm kind of impressed with the mascara. For being such a modest little brush, I mean, there's not a lot on there, but I feel like it did a really great job of lengthening, separating, and also giving some drama and volume to my lashes. And I feel like the bronzer and the highlight are really nice. Overall, I'm really impressed with everything I tried today. I would love to know what sort of things you've been eyeing for a long time and been finally picked up, what new things have surprised you recently, and what things you're glad that you've recently added, or that maybe they're not new, but that you constantly reach for this time of year. Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you again soon.